Hello everybody, I'm Jeremy Nora. Today is the 30th of October and we are watching another great game. We're continuing the series of Team Australia versus MiTh-Trust. If you haven't been following, it's been a good one so far. That first game was amazing. This is game 2. Australia is going into this with one game up. They have been leading very, very strongly. Currently an undefeated streak, both in matches and sets for our Aussie brothers. Will they be able to hold on through another game? We'll find out in probably another 45 minutes. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get into some picks and bans. We are going to see Broodmother and Beastmaster banned for Team Australia. Furion and Lich banned for MiTh-Trust. Very, very standard. Nothing surprising or really out of the ordinary there. Obviously with... Whoa! Okay, regular bans here. Let me just roll back and pick my brain off the floor. Anti-Mage snap picked by Australia as soon as they go into the picking lane. First pick there. Great, great pickup. Obviously, Anti-Mage is basically a hero without a counter right now in Dota 2. In the hands of an effective player, bad things just happen. And, yeah, oof. So, there goes Anti-Mage. Those bans coming out from both teams, pretty standard, blocking team fights, strong team initiating heroes, Beastmaster very, very powerful, Lich very powerful, and a lot of late game sustainability. And we're going to see MiTh-Trust picking up Windrunner and Weaver again in sort of possibly a repeat of the last game. Weaver obviously was involved. Well, I don't want to talk too much about that last game, but Weaver, a hero that can farm very, very well, has a lot of late game carrying potential, but can be very, very fragile, especially if you can shut down his Shukuchi and push, out of the way. Radiant have already picked up, Australia has already picked up the, the carry they need. They're going to go ahead and grab Shadow Shaman to go along with him. And, I'm still sort of reeling from the fact that Anti-Mage wasn't picked up. Now, we see Shadow Shaman and Vengeful Spirit for Team Radiant, for Australia. Over on the Dire, over from Thailand, we are going to see them grab Lion, actually, as their final pick, going into the ban stages. And Lion's sort of an unusual choice. We have not seen him... Really, I haven't seen him in the Showmatch series. We have not seen him get that much love in the more recent competitive games. But definitely a very strong hero, good support, a lot of options in through there. And so we'll see exactly how he fits into their strategy and what they go in lieu of other stuff. Obviously, we're looking at two very, very different styles here. Australia with the hyper-aggression and... well, normally with a very, very aggressive style, and then actually MiTh-Trust with a very MiTh-Trust with a more conservative but squishy style. In terms of bans, we are going to see Night Stalker as well as Chen getting taken out. Chen playing very effectively for Gods, and Night Stalker, a hero that does a lot of good things. Slardar, to go with that Night Stalker, Slardar, a hero that can really play a very strong initiator sort of role. And, it looks like if we look at the banning strategy of Australia, is they've done a really good job of removing those strength hero initiatings. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Ravage, obviously a very strong option and a good reason to ban Tidehunter. It's a reason we've seen Tidehunter banned in most of these games. Australia picking up Ancient Apparition and Sven for MiTh-Trust. Very interesting choice there. Sven sort of the leftovers after you take out Night Stalker and Slardar and Tidehunter. The stun very, very good for A stun. Good for chasing with that E ability. And then does pretty decent damage in the late game. Obviously not really a carry, but sort of a supporting strength hero tank. And pretty good at that role. In terms of the last pick here, I would expect to see a lot of the strength. Maybe, well, Trying to think lanes here. Maybe Doom? They're probably Australia will pick up a strength hero here. Skeleton King! No, that's probably unlikely. We'll see. They've got about 40 seconds left. Yeah, you know, I think Skeleton King probably unlikely. Doombringer, good choice. Interesting. They're going. Puck gives them good late game. Sorry, Puck allows them to get to the late game. Puck is a hero that has good early and mid game presence, and will allow AM to get that farm going. He can also solo. From lanes, we'll probably see tri-lane here of like Shadow Shaman, Vengeful Spirit, Anti-Mage, AA, mid,
5 seconds,
maybe bot, and then Puck mid or bot. But that they're going to be in a position where they'll have a tri-lane, they'll have 2 good solos, and what they've got is they've got a team that can sort of hold on through the early and mid game, and then Anti-Mage just sort of rolls up to Steam, and in theory steamrolls everything. Leshrac is going to be the final pick for this game, picked up by MiTh, and they are continuing their trend of going with a very, Weaver plus 3 intelligence, and then maybe a strength. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Black Shaitan playing Anti-Mage. Black Shaitan traditionally playing the carries on this team. God's actually on Vengeful Spirit, so we'll see what we can make happen from him. I expect wonderful things from him. And IIX is going to take that Weaver again. Hopefully his team had a talking to him about that part where you're supposed to participate in team fights and that sort of thing. So going through items, nothing too hinky or wild. We're going to see both teams gather up. Correction. MiTh-Trust is going to split, and then Team Australia is going to look for an early gank. So right now, again, just talking through the strategies, is I think we're going to see similar-ish strategies from both teams. Is very farm-heavy team, or excuse me, let me roll back my thoughts. Pick them up, gather them together. We see a very farm-heavy strategy coming out of MiTh-Trust pretty regularly, and I think we're going to see a double stun tri-lane here. We're going to have Lion mid, we're going to have Windrunner top, and that tri-lane is going to farm Weaver. And it'll be interesting, well, okay, maybe they're just going to make a liar out of me. That's entirely possible as well. Looks like they are actually going to tri-lane that Windrunner instead. They're just looking to get that first rune. We do have a haste being picked up by Vengeful Spirit. Will that be enough to pick up that tri-lane kill with Anti-Mage? Interestingly enough, they're going to put Anti-Mage with both Ancient Apparition and Vengeful Spirit opting to use AA as a... Wow! Huge gank there on that Windrunner. Is she going to be able to get away? I think the answer might be yes, but we're going to have this Vengeful Spirit diving in, tanking the tower, and then retreating in there, getting that first blood, and then eating his way through the trees. Really strong play there. That stun coming out of God's, preventing Sven from getting his stun off, and Snoopy retreating away. Wow, ridiculous play there. If it sounds like I'm smiling, it's because I am. And it's not because I'm biased, but just because that was so beautifully executed by Team Australia. That's really, really good play right there. And just that stun with the last Vengeful Spirit's mana, preventing that Sven stun and preventing the Stormhammer. and allowing like the retreat, and just very, very, very well done. Oh shit. So anyway, don't mind me, that's just fixed. Forgot about that, sorry guys. I did in fact forget to switch up my overlays. That's me being a silly bear. Maybe a big play coming in here on that anti-mage. That's going to be 1 stun, 2 stun. That's going to hold him down. Are they going to be able to finish him enough? He is blinking back. Will that auto attack from Leshrac finish him off? I think the answer is no. 43 health. And he does get away. Again, sorry about that, guys. So anyway, sorry, that's delayed. There is like a slow delay, etc., etc. So anyway, sorry guys, let me get my rhythm back together. Anti-mage escaping with 33 health right there, despite the double stun gank, etc. And, you know, a little bit surprised by the Ancient Apparition tri-lane. Shadow Shaman obviously a very strong solo and is doing very well against Lion. Down in the bottom lane, we can check on Puck versus Weaver. Weaver at, not farming quite as well as he was last time. He is at about 10 creep kills at 3 minutes. So about 3 per minute. That's basically the metric, you know, the minimum metric you want to make. Up in the top lane, we may see a little bit of a fight here. MiTh-Trust moving around looking for an opportunity to get some damage done. But we are going to see a creep pull, perhaps, by Anti-Mage. Right now, it looks like MiTh-Trust very hesitant to go in. They know they can't kill Anti-Mage with that double stun combo. And we're going to see, actually, the engaged stun going in on that Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit backing off as fast as he can. That Cold Feet doing a lot of damage to that Leshrac. Leshrac is going to be able to go down to Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage should be able to dart in here, and his Blink is on cooldown. That Ice Vortex doing such a great job of slowing these guys down. Are we going to see an Anti-Mage blink forward and take him out? I think the answer is no. But Vengeful Spirit able to take out Windrunner as she dives into the trees. It is not enough. And, yeah, wow. Ridiculous. 3-0 right now. Australia really stepping it up. I think they want to make this a quick game and go to bed, guys. Like, if I had to guess, that's exactly what's going on. But really strong play coming out of them, and, you know, this top tri-lane is just doing so much work right now. Ancient Apparition with 3 assists, Vengeful Spirit with 2 kills. I think we may be seeing a, one of those carry Vengeful Spirits. It's a rare and wonderful thing when you get to see a Vengeful Spirit carry, but I think it's going to happen. Meanwhile, Lion getting killed by creeps, question mark? Confusion. Not sure what happened there, guys. I did not have a chance to get a camera on that, but he did go down to the Radiant. That is, in fact, 4 kills for them. Yeah, Shadow Shaman didn't even get an assist. Very strange there. Up here down here in the bottom lane, I see Puck continuing to push forward. Weaver's sort of struggling to get those creep kills. He has picked up the pace. He is at about 5 per minute now. Doing a good job. There, up in the top lane, this tri-lane really uncontested though, and that's something that, you know, we're going to have to watch out for, and we're going to have to see MiTh-Trust try and find a response to. Since Anti-Mage is getting his farm on, he does have pretty good income. He is at about 22 creep kills with 1 kill and 2 assists. And things looking very, very strong for them going into the 6-minute mark. There is, of course, the first night. If we look at the gold earned, Radiant up by about 1.8k. Very, very different between, huge difference here from the first game. Looks like a Poor Man's Shield and a Ring of Health for Anti-Mage so far. Some boots all around. Checking over on other items. Nothing too big. There's the smoke out of Vengeful Spirit and Ancient Apparition. They're going to look to try and find an engagement here. Anti-Mage being very, very careful about engaging in there. He does not know where Leshrac is, does not want to get caught by that double stun. There's an invisible Leshrac coming in to try and maybe stop the gank here. We're going to see Gods move forward. He does not know about that Leshrac. There's the stun online. This could turn against him very, very badly. There's the Ice Vortex a little bit late. Actually, Gods missing, just dipping out of the way of the stun. The Leshrac stun a little bit to the left, able to just miss that Vengeful Spirit by the slightest of inches. Down the bottom lane, continuing farming from Weaver, and Lion is going to have no problem there, handling that situation, dipping out of the way, and retreating backwards. No big deal. A little bit of a misstep there by MiTh-Trust, and they are still struggling to find their way back into this game. If we look at the overall gold, things are definitely looking a lot healthier for the Radiant. They have Anti-Mage at about 286, Shadow Shaman at about 260, and they may be gearing up for another fight up here. Both Sven and Windrunner sort of isolated. They do not have that third member of their team. That Leshrac is wandering around. He is up actually in his base. Really, he is only level 3, so he's sort of been mitigated and kept out of the loop fairly effectively. Things looking very, very good for Team Australia to keep their throne, but I think MiTh-Trust has to have something new up their sleeve, and they've got to have some new exciting ideas. Actually, a little bit surprised to see MiTh-Trust this far up. Obviously, they've seen that they can die to this Radiant composition very, very easily, and they're sort of moving up a little, and if we see an Initiate here, there's the Initiate, there's the Cold Feet, there's the stun from... No, there is no stun from Vengeful Spirit. I was trying to guess because that would have been really clutch, and that would have cinched the Cold Feet stun, but it just didn't happen. So, oh well, whatever. Puck is just going to dart around, look for some opportunities to do some damage. It looks like they're going to be joined by that Leshrac up there, allowing Weaver to farm on his own. Seems like Australia's not all that concerned about him, and we may actually see a dive here. There's Windrunner tanking some creeps. No big deal, using a Tango. There goes Anti-Mage, no mana for Sven. Suddenly, Windrunner caught in the back, and actually they look a little bit indecisive here on Australia, moving back and forth, trying to decide who they want to attack. Puck has teleported away, and they will not be able to get anyone just by being indecisive and looking back and forth. It's a little bit unfortunate right there. That could have been a kill. Leshrac's actually moving up, and that's a little bit overconfident of him. If he gets seen, no, he is not going to be seen or chased. He is able to retreat, but there's a small ping there. Will we see the Radiant go down and cover that bottom lane and get into an engagement? I don't know, but this roaming Leshrac definitely having a hard time there. There's that initial stun. There's the ultimate out of the line. That will be enough to take down Shadow Shaman. Good play there. That actually gets Leshrac from level 3 to level 5. And that's exactly what he needed, because he wants to get those items and those abilities. And those abilities. And a little bit of gold for his trouble getting the kill. That is, of course, the first kill for the Dire team. They are able to catch up a little bit there. Let's go ahead and look at the overall gold earned. Still down by about 1,300. With, Anti-Mage really getting his farm up to place. He is at about 47 creep kills, 300 gold per minute, 47 at about, 5-ish. So in a very, very strong position going forward. He has finished off his power treads, and... Whoa. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Oh yeah, Beta software! Hang on 1 second. Whoops. So we did in fact have a Dota 2 crash in there. That's a little bit unfortunate. But I should be able to hop right back into that game. No problem.
Dire's bottom tower.
Alright, so looks like we missed another kill for the Radiant, another kill for the Dire. So 1 kill for each, just making sure that everything is as it should be. We're going to see a stun here on the Anti-Mage. Stun from that Sven is going to catch Anti-Mage as well as Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit is going to go down. That hook shot not doing enough to save her, or not doing enough to finish her off. Anti-Mage does get Lion, and we are going to see the members of the Radiant back off. They have another kill for each team. Still 6-3 in favor of Australia, who is currently up 1 game in the series. Anti-Mage actually is going to eat a stun here. There's another stun from Leshrac. Anti-Mage a little bit out of position there, getting way too eager. Cold Feet stun is going to stop Windrunner in her tracks, but it is not going to be enough to stop her. Oh, I totally just got the name of the skill. Huh? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Anyway, Shadow Shaman down here in the middle, farming, pushing, farming. Lion going to teleport in, and a good back off by Slicks there, just dipping away from the Earth Spike, no problem. Here comes a smoke gank from MiTh-Trust. That Winter is a little low on health, and that could be problematic for them, but it's not going to matter. Here comes the stun out of Sven. There comes the double stun. There goes the dead. That ultimate, though, is going to put down a lot of people with the help of Puck. 3 going down for 1 Shadow Shaman, and suddenly Lion in a bad position, retreating as fast as he can. There's the teleport in. There's the Weaver. He does have Vanguard. It is about 13 minutes into the game. His farm definitely a lot more limited this game than it was last game. And, yeah, oops. That fight did not go remotely the way they would have liked to. Huge, huge, massive play there by that Ancient Apparition, by Snoopy, and by the Muffin Man, Z-Muffin Man. That Puck orb coming in right as the ultimate hit from Ancient Apparition, and then bang! Down go 3 members of the enemy team. MiTh-Trust still struggling. We are going to see a hasted Lion coming in here, getting that Hex off. Is he going to follow it up with the... Yes, right as the Hex wears off. There's the Earth Spike. There's the ultimate. Of course, an ultimate from Lion does not do a whole lot of damage to an Anti-Mage with 2 levels in Spell Shield, but you know what? It's the thought that counts. And at least he believed. Belief is 9/10 of... I don't know. There's a stun on Vengeful Spirit. We did see Leshrac actually get his cast interrupted. He's getting stunned and eaten by those wards. Down he goes. Wards a little bit out of range of that tower. Not able to quite bridge that gap. Fortunately, it's a little bit too far. Their range is not like 800 meters or whatever the heck that is. Going to see the Lion go in here. Try and get some last hits on those wards. Those wards are worth quite a bit of gold. But you know what? Here comes the full Team Australia. They're hungry, they're out for blood, and they want to have some tie. No, I don't like that pun. That's. We're just going to rewind. We're going to pretend that one didn't happen. But we are going to pretend that this tower did go down. Down it goes, unfortunately. And MiTh-Trust still struggling. They do manage to get... Oh no! Tower denied by Vengeful Spirit! I was going to say they managed to get an actual kill there on the tower, but you know, no. They didn't. And so Gods was able to deny that great play by Vengeful Spirit. Windrunner still doing her best to maintain and control this top lane. Pulling and so on. Down the bottom lane, we may see Anti-Mage get caught here. There's that first stun. There's the second stun. There's the auto attacks. And there's the death to creeps. Which is always sort of hate to see that. But I think this top tower is going to go down. MiTh-Trust doing a good job of staying in this game, even as they're losing a couple of their towers. If we take a look, we see all 3 Tier 1 towers are down for the Radiant. 2 out of 3 down for the Dire, but one of those was denied. Puck getting a little bit overexcited here, getting shackle shot, getting power shotted, getting all those shots and arrows and so on. There's the ultimate coming out of that Ancient Apparition. It will do some damage to Windrunner, but not enough to finish her off. And God's very low on health. Ice Vortex coming out. Missed power shot by that Ancient Apparition. Hasted Lion not able to get in. Running in circles a little bit. Some questionable play there. He probably could have gone in and killed off that Vengeful Spirit without too much trouble, but did not have an opportunity to do so. And was forced back. In the meantime, we're going to see both teams just continue to farm. If we look at the stats, we see about 73 creep kills for Anti-Mage, 73 for Shadow Shaman. Really good farm there for both of them. That's about 5-ish, I want to say, per minute, give or take. 86 for Weaver. Weaver doing a little bit better than anyone else, but, you know, Weaver has been mostly uninterrupted so far. He is looking to go for that Radiance. He is about 16 minutes. He's got about 1,400 out of 3.8K. And, yeah, continuing. Continuing to catch up. In the meantime, we're going to see possibly a clash here over this middle tower. Obviously, the Dire want to take that down. That is the last Tier 1 tower. That will give them tower equity, and they're going to try and push in. But against 4 members of the Radiant, Anti-Mage down at the bottom, probably not going to be able to push in. And, you know, things still very, very cold for, you know, for MiTh-Trust. They're still looking for an opportunity to really get in there and do some work. Looking through the items, we see Puck with a Blink Dagger, Shadow Shaman with a Blink Dagger and Treads, Arcane Boots for Ancient Apparition, Anti-Mage with that Perseverance, about 1.2k, which means he should be able to get the first piece of his Battle Fury fairly soon. Going through the other heroes, Weaver with a Vanguard, Arcane Boots for Leshrac, Arcane Boots for Windrunner, Basilius and a Headdress for Windrunner, etc., etc., etc. Down the bottom lane, I feel like Weaver may get caught here. He's been known to be farming. He loves to farm on his own. We're going to see a smoke coming out here. If they can get one of those stuns off or a shackle or something, a lot of bad things are going to happen. Yeah, I think this Weaver is probably going to die. Will they be able to... There's a blink in. Wow, great reaction time by that Weaver. Popping his Sakuchi, but is it going to be enough? He did use his time-lapse. He did use his Sakuchi again. Is Weaver going to be able to get away here? I think Vengeful Spirit might be able to get a stun, but the answer is no. Great play. Great juke there by IIX. Huge, huge reaction time. Just instantly popping that Sakuchi and poofing away. Very, very well done there. And I've got to say, MiTh-Trust, you know, looking to find some opportunities to come back here and really, really doing a good job there. So... hopefully we're going to see, hopefully we're going to see Weaver actually participating in some more of these team fights. It looks to see a big clash coming in here. Both carries are MIA, but here comes Weaver moving into this middle area. We're seeing some movement up. There's a big bit of damage on that Puck, getting finished off by that Sven stun. They do not have another one, but there's the Shackle Shot doing so much stun to that Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit completely out of control stun. Just no. Down goes Vengeful Spirit. Sven getting a double kill right there. They are picking up the gap. Down goes this tower. That means that the towers are equal. 3 down for both sides. 10-9 in terms of kills. That ultimate from AA is actually going to catch quite a few of them. But that's no big thing. They're actually in a very, very strong position for MiTh-Trust. But we do have a disconnect.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Had to throw out my caster request for a pause because looks like God's DC'd. Just trying to make sure that everyone is Alright, sorry about that, guys. Obviously, it helps if all members of the team are connected. So, just wanted to make sure that we got that sorted out. We're going to drop straight into this. And where were we? Where was I? Lost my train of thought. Oh, yes. MiTh-Trust suddenly in a very good position. Suddenly looking very, very good. Let's put it that way. We're actually going to start doing damage to this bottom tier 2 tower. Both teams have taken out equal numbers of towers. All 6 tier 1s are down. 3 for both teams. Good farm on that Weaver, and if we look at the gold differential has closed tremendously. They're only up, it's only a difference of about 800 gold, and Team Australia is only up by about 800. We are going to see a big engagement here. Vengeful Spirit getting caught by that double stun, eating a lot of damage. Weaver picking up the kill there. Thank you, team players, for pinging that position. Sorry, someone commenting that Gods' mom made him go to bed because it's late in Australia. I think that's probably not why he disconnected. But a little bit of a fight there between Windrunner plus Lion versus Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage able to back off. He has finished his Battle Fury at about 21 minutes. So a little bit slow, but, you know, not too bad. Obviously, he has been engaged in a couple fights. And if we take a look at some hard numbers, we're going to see about 347 gold per minute for that Anti-Mage. 352 for Weaver. Both teams fairly equal in the number of farm. And, you know, if we look at the gold overall earned, very, very close. It is 10 to 10. Things are just pretty much neck and neck right now. Experience-wise, gold-wise, etc. Things are very, very, very close. And, you know, it's anyone's game right now. We've seen MiTh-Trust really execute a very, very strong comeback. They were in a position where they were going to have to struggle and, you know, try and catch back up. See Shadow Shaman over here. Keep in mind he does have that Blink Auger. He's able to hide out in the forest over here and see if there's going to be, you know, an engagement. He can just dip right in or dip right out as necessary. My camera's going a little bit wild and diving away from me. Interesting. If you guys are ever wondering what the minimap icon is for Vengeful Spirit, it is now that giant green one. Yes, it's not reassigning player names when they get back in colors and stuff. So keep that in mind as if you're watching that minimap down there in the lower left. Right now it looks like we have a little bit of a standoff here. Sven and Leshrak wanting to engage, wanting to get some more kills for Weaver. Weaver at level 13 currently. A couple levels ahead of Anti-Mage, and that's where MiTh-Trust does have an advantage. The question is, can they use that advantage better than they did in the other game? And will we see Weaver participating in these team fights? Thus far we have, which has been really, really good to see. Right now, Winner is going to push that top lane. We do see the MiTh-Trust split up a little bit, maybe in a position to get ganked. No smoke coming out from Team Australia. They're just going to mill around and look for opportunities to get into a fight. Career delivering some important items. Nice little staff of wizardry, because all wizards need a staff or a wand, maybe a cape. I don't know. Trying to think of all the exciting things a wizard needs besides a staff, and the answer is a blink dagger, because Lion's going to blink forward, looking for a chance to get a stun or a hex off. Not really finding much, opting actually not to put any points into Mana Drain yet. He is level 12. He's got 4 points in Earth Spike and in Hex, and then 2 points in Finger of Death. Up in that top lane, Windrunner continuing to push forward, still getting really good farm out of her. She is at about 84 creeps per minute, which is, you know, 4-ish creep kills per minute. Pretty good. And, you know, just continued pressure being applied here. We've seen a lot of wards here covering this entire forest area. Some Invis runes as well. And then there's the double blink forward. There's the puck with the orb. Is Weaver going to be able to get away? Yes, Weaver able to use that time lapse so well. Stun coming out of Sven, eating a lot of damage from that Anti-Mage. There's the stun on Anti-Mage. Is Anti-Mage going to be able to survive? I think, yes, he is. That ultimate is going to catch a couple members of the enemy team. No deaths so far, but lots of people very, very low. Shadow Shaman eating a lot of damage. There's a blink forward by Puck. with the silence, trying to dissuade Weaver from pushing forward, and neither team... Oh, there, Leshrak just dying at the last moment, ruining that massive team fight with no kills so far. They're actually going to go the wrong direction, and I think we may see MiTh-Trust able to escape here. That invisibility rune will be very effective in keeping the line alive, and they're able to retreat. Meanwhile, Windrunner farming at the top. And again, another fight where we've seen 4 members of MiTh-Trust involved, but not the 5th. And the 5th has always been pushing and being very aggressive, which is great. And this tower's at about half health here. Both of these towers at half or 30% health. But they definitely need to be very, very wary of the situation and make sure they're not going to end up just losing based on not having their full team together for these team fights. If we take a look at Weaver, he has finished his Sacred Relic. It is about 25 minutes. He does have that Vanguard, so he's going for a 25... Needs about 900 more. Going for about a 28-minute Relic, or sorry, Radiance plus Vanguard. So good tempo there, doing some really good farm, getting some good gold. If we look at his gold per minute, he is about 339, somewhere in there, staying right on par with Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, of course, very scary. If he's able to get that farm entirely up to where he wants it to be, we do see 3 members of the team. That triple stun combo set up. They are smoked. They are running around looking for a chance to get someone. They're actually going to dip into this woods. A little bit of stuttering. That is something that we have seen somewhat since the patch. And actually, oh, they're going to catch the courier here with a lot of stuff on it. Maybe. No, they're not. They are going to catch Anti-Mage, though. Will that stun be enough? Will they? Oh, they're going to be able to keep him locked down. No problem. Anti-Mage eating so much stun there. Shackle Shot, Leshrak, Diabolic... No, sorry, not Diabolic. Split Earth, Power Hammer, and then, of course, Earth Spike and a Hex. It's a lot of lockdown. Anti-Mage just completely, absolutely brutalized there. And unfortunately, we're not able to get that courier before he delivered the items, because that would have been a huge, huge pickup. Right now, Weaver retreating back. He's so close to his Radiance, he needs to make sure not to die, and he's been doing a good job of that so far. He is 1-1, which is 1 more death than he had at this point in the other game, but it happens. Of course, Weaver doing his best to defy me. He's going to eat a lot of damage here, and he is going to go down. Just that blink forward. He's going to be so effective. Puck coming in at the perfect time, and Weaver getting caught by Shadow Shaman with all his tricks, his lightning, his hex, his shackles, and his wards. Down he goes while Weaver continues to push forward, putting so much pressure on this top tower. It is going to fall very, very soon, unless something major happens. Right now, Vengeful Spirit doing a little bit of counter warding, just trying to keep back that vision. Windrunner using the ultimate, but forced to retreat as Anti-Mage shows up, opting not to get into a tussle with him, because even with excuse me, even with Windrunner, even with Windrunner, she would have a hard time getting away from him. And right now, we're going to see 3-4 members of the Dire team gathering up in the forest here, maybe looking for an opportunity to get into a fight. There's some more items. Who is that courier delivering to? Cannot tell. Probably to Leshrak. Nope, not to Leshrak. To Sven. Sven picking up an Ogre Club. Let's look through some items. Blink Daggers. That's standard. Vlad's on Anti-Mage as the second item. Question mark. I do not like that at all, especially considering how ridiculously hard he's getting brutalized by some of these stun teams. Yeah, that's a little bit questionable there. Vlad's a decent item, but not a great item. And when you throw in just the fact that their team is so like lockdown heavy, it can definitely be problematic. But I'm sure there's a reason he's playing this game, and I'm just staring at it as they go. We were close to making up the gold loss from his death, and we're going to actually see a big engagement here on that Windrunner. Windrunner getting caught by those by that combination there. He does get a shackle shot off. It is not enough. Ancient Apparition actually getting the kill with that shatter. And, you know, we've seen that happen a couple times where these heroes off on their own are just getting picked off by that Shadow Shaman plus a friend. And MiTh-Trust needs to be a lot more careful about not letting that happen. So we actually see both teams, Never mind. We're not even going to talk about that. That's just the thing that happened. Weaver actually has his Radiance on the way. There's that recipe. Flying in on our flying Deathwing Donkey, guys. We call him Deathwing Donkey because he has the Deathwing style jaw from World of Warcraft. That's right, I am a nerd. And we're actually going to see a big push on this bottom tower. Leshrac, obviously, with Diabolic Edict, can do a lot of damage to a tower if need be. We have not seen him turn that on just yet. There it is. A little bit late, actually. Sort of unnecessary, perhaps. But suddenly they're moving in. They're in a position to actually push in on that tower. Looks like Leshrac going for that staff of... Aghanim... Excuse me. Going for that Aghanim Scepter up in the top lane. Windrunner trying to do some damage to Anti-Mage, but retreating backwards. He does have about 2k on him. Are they going to be able to get a stun off? No, he blinks away before any of the backup comes. And, you know, I gotta say, I like the position Myth is in right here. They're up a tower. They've got a very good pushing team. And they're continuing to catch people. There's that Hex on Anti-Mage. Are we going to see a stun? There's the stun. There's, ooh, wasted double stun. That is going to allow Anti-Mage to get away. He does fire off that magic wand. That ultimate is going to catch nobody. Ancient Apparition just whiffing with his ultimate. Good try, though. He was a bit away. So, oops. But, you know, no big deal. Right now, yeah, that was a little bit of a miscoordination there by that Sven. Sven with the overly early stun. Ancient Apparition getting some work done, taking out Lion. Vengeful Spirit taking out Sven. We're just going to see some dust come out. It does not hit Weaver, though, so it's not going to be enough. And I feel like Anti-Mage is in a really good position to get a couple kills here. So he's going to probably take out this Leshrac. He does, in fact, get it. Weaver able to dance away back behind the tower with that invisibility that, unfortunately, was not good enough. And we may see a counter push here. Will they be able to get this middle tower? I think the answer is probably yes. They do have about 20 seconds before Lion and Leshrac come back. They're going to push in here, take out this tower. There's the Serpent Wards from Shadow Shaman, making sure it goes down so fast. Look at them. It's done. No problem. Puck picking up that last kill. They've got to watch out. They do have a couple lanes that are fairly well pushed. That top tower is also looking a little bit shady, as is the middle tower. So we've seen really, really good work and pressure by both teams, and they've done such a good job of, you know, making sure to keep the aggression up and getting in there and doing damage to those towers. So we're probably going to see, ooh, Ward's getting cleaned up. Lots of gold. Everyone loves gold. That's a lot of gold for Weaver, who will probably finish his boots next and then maybe go on to something, I don't know, a couple different items we will see him go for. Winner actually picking up a Scythe 32 minutes in with the Arcane Boots, the Basilius, and the Headdress. Probably going to be seeing a mech sometime in the near future, but good choice there on Winner to go for that Scythe instead of the Headdress, realizing, hey, we've got a good shutdown team. Let's make it gooder. And that's me winking at the camera saying gooder. Yeah, but, you know, really, when you've got a team like with good disables from 3 heroes, and then you're trying to make sure you're able to take out someone like Anti-Mages, you want to go for that staff first. Shadow Shaman actually doing the great thing and picking up a BKB. I'd like to see Anti-Mage picking up at least an item. I'm not sure which item, but one of them. He is at about 4,400 gold right now. 3.6k of that is in unreliable gold. He does need to spend that to protect it from getting, you know, spent, or from getting lost on death. May see a dust. No, we will not see a dust gank. None of them have dust. Do have a couple members of the Dire team moving around MiTh-Trust, looking for an opportunity to get something done in the area. And yeah, both teams sort of moving up towards this top area. I think we're going to see a pressure and push on this top tower. It is about 700 health out of 1,600. MiTh-Trust may be moving to react. They do not have... Yes, they do have vision. They've got a ward right there. That's their ward. And they've got wards here and there. We see a ping from Gods from blue on this top tower. They do want to go in. Oh, good. Good. Sorry, distracted by exciting things. You guys are, of course, about 2 minutes behind. We are at about 34 minutes here in game. As you can see up at the top, there is a 2-minute delay on this to prevent anything crazy. But right now we're seeing Australia definitely pick up some momentum. The advantage was in the favor of the Dire there for a while. But things are clicking back. They need to get out of here. Maybe even eat that stun if they've got it. But run. Lion absolutely totally toast here. Clutch shackle shot. Probably not enough to save Lion. But really well done by Windrunner. Popping in. Getting that angle just right. And then unfortunately it was not enough. Since even Lion and Ancient Apparition do damage when they auto... Or excuse me. Even Ancient Apparition and Vengeful Spirit do damage when they auto attack. So the thing to keep in mind, guys, is that we see really good wards. We can see all along here if you're the Radiant. So they know exactly where Windrunner is. They've got to be very, very careful about where they are in this forest because the Sentinel, the Radiant, have complete control of exactly where things are.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The wards are going to come out of the Shadow Shaman here. We're going to see a... Whoa. Down the bottom, Anti-Mage and Puck taking out Weaver. Leshrac in a lot of damage and just going completely splat to that Manta Style. Manta Style, the option that Anti-Mage decided to go ahead and just straight up buy, picking up a double kill for him. And I think he may have hit that critical momentum level where, oh yeah, he's got 458 gold per minute. He's got a Vlad's, he's got a Battle Fury, he's got a Manta Style, and he's going to be very, very hard to get under control right now. So he is going to start pushing forward, and I think Team Australia's little snowball is starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger and may turn into a snowstorm very, very soon. Up in the top lane, both Weaver and Windrunner picking up a little bit more farm, doing their best to try and get any items they can to come back and hang on their position. Sven looking to go for that BKB fairly soon. Over on Puck, he's got a ultimate orb, probably going for a sheepstick. Shadow Shaman with that BKB with those treads and with that blink dagger. Vengeful Spirit with boots, some dust, and an urn. I think that covers all our heroes. Oh, AA with a gem, a mech, and arcane boots. That gem will do a great job of nullifying that Weaver. Has been able to hang out in the back and just make sure that he's not involved in most of these fights. And that really puts him in a position where, you know, they're not going to be able to take out that gem, and they're going to be able to know exactly, excuse me, and Team Australia is going to be able to know exactly where that Weaver is, and he will not be able to do his effective, you know, dance in, dance out, do damage in between like he would like to. So we're going to see our Anti-Mage pushing on this bottom tower. That will give them the tower lead. Sorry, they already have the tower lead. That will increase their tower lead. They do have, this will be the last tier 2 tower standing for Team MiTh-Trust, and we will see if they can hang on and do a fight. There's a big engagement there. Lion getting caught. There's a swap in. Leshrac getting swapped in. Double kill for Anti-Mage. Mega kill for Anti-Mage. And I think Anti-Mage may have hit his critical momentum. We're going to see big pressure in here. They're going to push in on this tower. Is Australia going to win? I think they might be able to. They're up 21 to 11. Come on, Myth. Are you guys going to be able to pull it back together? I don't know that they're going to find it. Here go the creeps moving in there. There come the wards out. There's the Manta Style doing a lot of damage to that tower. My God, look at how fast it is. I would like to see some... There's the micro on the wards. Focusing on that tower. These barracks are going to go down so fast. They may be able to just turn left, right here. Go straight and directly to that middle lane, but they opt not to. Pulling back, they're going to farm up this lane and probably push in there now. Of course, the enemy team is up. Team... Excuse me. Throat having a hard time right here. MiTh-Trust having a hard time right now. They are looking for opportunities, and... Wow, Roshan pretty much instantly killed. There's an Aegis for Anti-Mage. I think that may be GG. He does have 5.7k, which is a fairly significant amount. He may just go straight up by Eaglehorn. Oh, wow, they turned on Well, that's exciting. Spectator shops are in. You heard it here first, people. GhostWhoGamers.net. He's actually at the point where he can go buy Butterfly straight out, like it's only 6K. So he'll probably go do that sometime soon. You're going to see Puck pick up a Sheepstick, Maelstrom for the Windrunner. Not sure that's going to be quite enough. There's the Eagle Horn. And then he's going to go finish things off very shortly here. Yeah, there's the Butterfly. And so that's going to put things definitely in MiTh-Trust court. They're going to have a hard time finding a reaction to this anti-mage. And he's just been able to get a lot of momentum going right here. So he's actually going to, yeah, he's not going to push that top lane. He is going to farm a little bit more. And we should see that final push coming fairly soon here. The one that will help them decide who's going to win this game. The Lion moving up and really being very, very aggressive with such a fragile hero. I mean, he's not tank-built Lion. We are going to see Puck blinking forward, taking a lot of damage. There's that triple stun. Lion taking him out with that ultimate. Here comes Anti-Mage, though. Are they going to be able to lock him down? Lion goes down first. That ultimate will not, or excuse me, that disable will not be enough. He is getting in there. Anti-Mage doing so much damage to everything that moves. Blinking forward, taking out the Sven. Is he going to ultimate? No, his ultimate is on cooldown. He is hook-shotted. As soon as he comes off that shackle shot, he's going to probably blink forward and chase. Are we going to see Windrunner go down? No, she uses that Sheepstick. Will it be enough? There's the stun. There's the other stun. Oh my gosh, this Anti-Mage is absolutely out of control. Ancient Apparition with the unstoppable double kill, no problem. Blink forward by the Anti-Mage, going in, trying to farm the tower. There's the shackle shot, another clutch shackle shot by Windrunner. But you know what? There's the wards. There's the ultimate from Ancient Apparition. Straight up, just, yeah. Team Australia with the absolutely ridiculous aggression. We were actually disconnected in all that. And yeah, away they go. They're going to lose this tower, and I think that's probably going to be GG for Team Australia. Team Australia hanging onto their hill, hanging onto their throne, wearing their crown for another week at least, guys. There comes the blink forward by that Lion. Of course, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Anti-Mage just eating. There's the GGWP. Good game, well played. GG's coming out of both teams, and I think this will probably do it. We were trying to get in here and do a little bit of work, but it may not be enough. He does get that rewind off, and is he going to be... Yeah, he's going to be able to get in there and do a lot of damage to that Ancient Apparition. He's still running around like a crazy man. Anti-Mage at a monster kill, just demonstrating why everyone bans Anti-Mage right now. And if you don't, this happens. And that's just sort of an unfortunate state of the game right now, as a lot of the counters are not in right now. Weaver taking a lot of damage there and getting taken out by that silence. I think we'll just see, hopefully we'll just see this push finish. It is just Sven against the mighty Radiant Empire, headed up by Anti-Mage, who is now kind of hard to kill. I think that'll do it, though. Yes, in fact, that will. The Ancient is going to go down. We'll probably see some other GGs. There they are. Well, there's one of them. There's one of them. Well, 3 out of 4 Gs ain't bad. That will do it, though, of course, guys. Wow. Team Australia continuing their just ridiculous run here. Really showing that they have it. They have what it takes. And you know, it's interesting because they are sort of a ragtag group of heroes that's definitely been able to take on some of the best players in the world. It'll be exciting to see what's in store for them. For now, guys, we are going to go to a quick commercial break.